Chapter 1069. Let's get right into it. First off, shout out to whoever guessed this correctly. Kudos to you. Second, this new awakened form looks exactly like the Sulong form in the Minx. We've been told about humans just being hairless minks all this time, and now we actually have info about the nature of double fruits affecting human evolution. And it makes me think the Zoan fruits that we've noticed are somehow related to mink DNA, or the lineage factors that Vegapunk keeps referring to. I'm jumping right into it today. Right off the bat, we are reintroduced to the loan shark Dufel, who we last saw in Whole Cake Island during Big Mom's tea party. And on this cover, it's heavily implied that the original Mads research group was actually funded by Dufel. I find that really interesting because we know these researchers are always strapped for cash, and Caesar even went to Big Mom for cash. And then he basically embezzled all their money. He promised to use it to study gigantification, but ended up spending it all on gambling, drinking, and hookers. We even saw Vegapunk himself decline to join the Revolutionary Army because they didn't have funding. How else could he get his projects done? So that makes me wonder just how much money does Dufel actually have, and why does he choose to fund these projects? My theory is that we'll learn a lot more about this Mads research group as the chapters go on, and more specifically about the underworld and how everyone's connected, including brokers like Joker, aka Doflamingo. Next up, we finally know the secret to double fruits. Apparently, they actually represent human potential, and these fruits are essentially artificial evolution packaged into something edible. And beyond that, we also got confirmation that Luffy is indeed the sun god Nika. This goes back to my biggest theory, one I mentioned in my last video. Vegapunk will eventually replicate Luffy's fruit and help him create that artificial sun that he needs to provide limitless energy. This all gets much deeper into nuclear physics and the Kardashev scales and how to harness the energy of a star. That's something I'm really excited to dig into with you guys, and I will talk about in later videos. But for now, just stay tuned, like and leave a comment if you want to see that any sooner. Now, back to the fight. It turns out Lucci did get stronger, and he actually might be more capable than I initially thought. But honestly, it doesn't seem like Lucci's going to struggle against him. I mean, even in this panel, just look at how easy he's dodging Lucci's awakening finger pistol attacks. He's like sleeping in one of these panels. Also, it looks like Luffy's learning how to use the environment to attack in his Gear 5 form. Here he has something called Mold Pistol, where he punches the ground punches Lucci. And I'm excited to see what else he has up his sleeve. And I still think this is going to end up being a Bellamy style beatdown, but Lucci's definitely going to use some. That's why I'm not surprised at all that he immediately went for the weaker fighter and basically tried to kill Sentomaru. And if you recall my previous theory about Sentomaru, I think he's actually a descendant of a sumo family in Wano, and is currently working undercover in the world government, just like Kumo was. It would explain why Vegapunk trusted him in the first place, but I don't think they're gonna kill him off just yet. We got a bit more background on Sentomaru's history with Vegapunk this chapter. It seems like at some point Vegapunk rescued him, similar to how Zeph saved Sanji's life. And because of that, I think Sentomaru is too important to die just now. Oda would have introduced him as a character, give him a backstory, and then kill him in one chapter. So my guess is Chopper is going to have to heal him. Meanwhile, Frankie will have to repair Vegapunk after the damage he does to him. And I'm still convinced that Frankie and Vegapunk will definitely build some amazing things together. Just look at the way Frankie idolizes him. And if you look at my previous video, you'll see my theory about how I think Vegapunk and Frankie are going to work together to build autonomous robots, similar to that giant robotic warrior Vegapunk found. and I think they'll need to build them for an upcoming war, but there'll be more details. Finally, we are going to get that Seraphim Showdown. And it looks like Kizaru is on the way. There's a good chance Egghead might be destroyed from all this fight, especially with 6 people that can shoot these devastating laser beams. We have Frankie's Radical Beam, S-Shark, S-Snake, S-Hawk is there. We have Pacifista Kuma, and now Kizaru is on the way. This whole thing's about to work. Now to finish off with my top predictions for Chapter 10-7. First up, I think CP0 will somehow take command of the Seraphim and use them against the Stropics. In particular, I'm excited to see S-Hawk finally clash with Zoro. We haven't seen him fight E-Hawk yet, but this will be amazing to see. I also think we'll get an update on the fight between Law and Blackbeard and how that's progressing. Last we saw, they set it off with a fight to the death at the end of chapter 1063, and we haven't heard anything from them since. Also, I think Vegapunk will explain how to feed a devil to an object, and Usopp will finally get his weapon. Oda's been teasing this to us since Alabasta, and it's about time we get an explanation, and about time Usopp gets the away. Especially if he has an upcoming fight with Blackbeard Pirate and Sniper Ogre. And lastly, Oda might tease something that's been on my mind for a very, very long time. A new Gear 4 form. This one based on a lion. Check out my last video for more details on this. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss